Hey, what's up everybody? TooTallToby here, and we are in tournament season. It's my favorite time of year. We are heading into the 2024 World Championship of 3D CAD Speed Modeling. Registration is currently open, so if you're interested in competing in this tournament, there's free registration and qualification available over at TooTallToby.com/tournaments. And we've been going through releasing highlights from our previous tournament this year, the 2024 Spring Open, and I came across this match, and this match is a real gem. It's Imants vs. Dom, match number 3. And at the start of this match, I show a print, and my production team lets me know that Imants is having problems with his internet. He had to restart his computer, and so we say, okay, we'll scrap that first print, and then we go on to show the correct print, which is the SPO53 gear housing. Well, when I showed this print, Imants was still having problems with his setup, and he continued modeling the original print, while Dom jumped right into it and started modeling the correct model. So the question is, with this deficit, is Imants able to come back? Is he able to clinch the win, get his 2 points, and move on in the tournament? Well, I'll let you guys watch this video, but I gotta say, this is just an awesome match between these two guys. So cool to see somebody playing from behind, and let's get into it and see what happens. And let's learn a little bit more about our runners. Imants does his tournament runs on a Chromebook. You know, I mentioned earlier, you can run Onshape from any device. You can jump from one device to the next, and Imants doing everything that he's doing here and doing it so fast and doing it on a Chromebook. Wow, that is super impressive. Wow. And of course, let's learn a little bit more about Dom as well. Well, Dom is good at building, breaking, and fixing things. Okay, well, that's good to know. Always fun learning some new stuff about our runners. All right, guys, let's get into this next match. This is another blast from the past. Hope you guys enjoy this one. This next CAD battle between Onshape and SOLIDWORKS in our Final Four showdown begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XXXX grams? What is the mass of this part in XXXX grams? This one came from a tournament, I think last year. The lock handle. Tier 6 drawing. Probably could be a tier 7, but we'll call it tier 6. Both of our runners are grabbing a screen capture. Whoops, I lost my view of Imants. I wonder if Imants crashed out. Oh. All right, guys. Sorry, Dom, sorry. This is going to be a push. We're not going to use this drawing. Sorry, Dom. Just got notified from my team. I wasn't watching the chat enough. Stand by, everybody. Okay. Dom says okay. All right. We got a little technical difficulty there. Technical difficulty on the start. Let's go back to the wheel. We're not going to stand on ceremony here. We're going to keep this moving. We got a lot of content to get through today. Let's give this thing a rip. Hope we don't run out of challenges here today. What's it going to be? Looks like it's going to be 53. Jern nailed it. Jern nailed it. All right, Imants and Dom, we're going to do a nice clean start here on a new drawing for you. So 53 is going to be the drawing. And let's get into it here. Let's learn a little bit more fun facts about our runners, right? All right, let's bring up here 53. All right, and let's go to our setup here, and here we go. This next CAD battle between Onshape and SOLIDWORKS begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XXXX grams? This is a tier 7 drawing. Not quite tier 10, but a tier 7 drawing here. So Imants, Dom. Guys, see this print? Imants, I hope you see this print. Imants looks like he's... Oh man, Imants, come on, buddy. I think he might be trying to focus on the old print. We're gonna keep going with this one. We gotta get Imants. Sometimes luck is gonna play a factor in this tournament, and I think this is one of these spots where if one of our runners is having technical difficulties, we gotta the show must go on. So I'll let you guys see what's going on here. Got Imants in the thick of it. He's in the zone. He's modeling that old part. This is gonna give Dom a leg up, and unfortunately that's just like I said, it's just the nature of the tournament. There's gonna be times where somebody runs into technical issues, and we're gonna try to communicate to Imants. We're not going back though. I think he's got his headphones on or something. He's not. Doesn't want to listen in. I got the production team trying to reach out to him too. Exactly. Imants is so in the zone he won't react. Exactly. It would be funny if both masses were the same, yeah. From Vortex 108. All right, let's see if... Gonna just show the full screen again and see if that'll help Imants grab it. Now he says, well, okay, good, he's back. He's back, all right. Sometimes luck can be a big factor in this thing, you know? Okay, so I think that we're back on track. Now we're going to see... Might end up seeing the comeback kid now. We're going to see this could be the comeback of the century. All right, we're back on track, everybody. The tournaments are always exciting. This just adds another factor to it. But like I said, whenever you're going 1 versus 1, you know, luck is always a factor. There's a lot of different ways that luck can come into play. And what we just saw was one of those ways. You know, somebody has a technical difficulty, then that's going to happen, you know? Ricardo in the chat says 300% focus now. I like that. I like that. Okay, here we go. So we can see that this model, this is kind of like a gear housing. You might see this type of a model in the mechanical engineering world, a gear housing, you know, with maybe a worm gear coming through the 2 different sections of this thing. It does have symmetry in a few different directions, so when our runners are trying to come up with a game plan, they're going to take that into consideration if the model has symmetry or not. It's also a great strategy to kind of what I call discretize the model, which just means look at the whole model, look at the whole challenge, but then break it down into different sections. So in the case of this model, you've got the obvious main rectangular housing, then you've got like the lower feet section, you've got that kind of upper section with the extra rectangular region sticking out the side, you've got the circular boss that's kind of sticking out the front and the back of this thing. You know, you want to, whenever you take on a challenge like this, you want to kind of break it down into those different sections. And a lot of times the best modelers in the world will use that to help define the naming of their features in the tree. So they'll go through the feature tree and they'll name the features in the tree based on the kind of that process of discretizing the model. They'll have a feature called main housing. They'll have a feature called left foot. They'll have a feature called lug. They'll have a feature called counterbore. So a lot of times the best users in the world will do that to kind of not only to come up with a good solid game plan, but also to keep things organized and make it easier when you go back and you look later on. Obviously, if you're in a speed modeling competition, you wouldn't want to take time to rename your features, but it certainly is a technique that you want to use just kind of mentally. You want to break down the model. Mentally, you want to think about it in the different sections instead of thinking of it all in one single chunk of information. And there's also a fundamental strategy as far as the order in which features are created. A lot of times you'll start out by creating solid features, and then you'll create your holes later on, your cuts later on. With, of course, like fillets and ribs and traditional holes and draft and things, landing in that order as well, in that, decision tree as well. Rich Penn in the chat saying Onshape has folders for the feature tree that help a lot. That's good to know. If there was ever music that would help with a comeback, I think this is the song. This is the one that's going to help Imants with the comeback. Ivan says, one tourney, I threw my headphones off to not get distracted by the commentary, but that's obviously not the best strategy. Yeah, I can understand that. It's a Megazord, Ricardo. It's a Megazord. Yeah, this is a big one. Tier 7. Got some messages here. Yep, sorry I missed those messages. Rockcrawler's in the chat today. What's up? Michael LaFleche is in the chat. He was co-commentary with me last week. Great to see you in here. Great co-commentating with you. I had fun mixing out those videos. We were laughing it up. Hang in there, yeah, indeed. All right. Hope that caught up on most of the chat here. I knew this one was going to be a little bit more of a, engineering grind almost. But very interesting to see how the two runners are approaching this thing. I mean, we see Dom on the right, just kind of slow and steady, almost doing like a machinist approach, where he's created it as a block of steel, and now he's going through and little by little removing material. So that's a very common thing you see in the world of 3D engineering, 3D CAD, is people will kind of approach their models almost like they are, like they are a chunk of steel, and you're kind of breaking up that chunk of steel. Imants on the left decided to start out with those feet, and now he's going up to that upper section. So we'll see how that works out. Definitely some added tension on this one with, with Imants having the slow start, the missed start. He's definitely playing from behind, so it's interesting to watch. Having had a chance to see Dom go through now and create these initial features, it's very interesting to see how Imants is gonna react to this, is gonna respond to this. Crispy Co in the chat says, loving this challenge. Hope we get a tier 7 in match 2. We'll see what happens. Be careful what you wish for, as they say. So very interesting. I like the way Dom on the right approached that upper section, that kind of, the chamfer section that's called out on the print for that upper. It's like a cyan blue. Shout out to cyan blue, Michael LaFleche. Cyan blue there on that upper section. Really, really interesting approach there from Dom to kind of clear that section out. This model, you know, like I said earlier, you want to take a model like this, you want to kind of discretize it into different regions and then continue modeling through those regions. Well, there's a lot of those regions in this thing. I mean, I know it looks like it's just like a chunk of steel, you know, a rectangular chunk of steel, but there's actually a lot going on with this model, a lot of different regions. I think you can kind of see Imants doing that pretty nicely on the left, where he's actually doing it as multi-body, and then, but actually doing it as multi-body, but kind of really showing that thought process of taking a model and discretizing it into different subsections and kind of like working on one section, get that correct, work on the next section, work on the next section, and then kind of bring everything together at the end. So really like the approach that Imants is taking on this. Very, very good example of that idea of like discretizing a model. This would be a pretty expensive part to have made in the real world. Yeah. It's got to be a little nerve-wracking for Dom. We see Imants on the left is really trying to catch up here. This is going to be a close one, closer than I was expecting at first. Victor K says, had to use paintbrush in Snip and Sketch to cross off dimensions as I went along. Love these super complex models. Nice. Airwick in the chat says, I've got something. Very humble. Not sure if it's right, but I've definitely got something. I like the saxophone. Getting me in the mood to model a little bit. Mr. EV. I hate for it to end. So both of our runners are now creating that kind of, I guess we'll call it a tapered cut up through the middle of the part. Very, very cool to see how close things have gotten on this challenge. I think Dom is still ahead by a few features. He's already got those counter bores going in through the side. He's already got the main holes going through the middle of the part. So I think currently Dom is still ahead, but wow. This is a very, very close. This is going to be really close coming across the finish line here. Looks like Dom is getting himself ready with that tapered cut as well. A tier 7. Hard to believe we got a tier 7 model in this thing. Very cool to see all these dimensions. You know, kind of like what Victor K said earlier. I mean, if you've been in mechanical engineering long enough, you've gotten a print like this. You've, you know, usually the team will go down to the basement and they'll pull out an old 2D hand print and they'll say, hey, could you model this up in solids? And they give you something with 1,000,000 dimensions on it, 50 different section views, and it's just like what Victor K said. You just got to go one dimension at a time and kind of get through the whole thing. Looks like Airwick is Imants is running into maybe a little bit of an issue with this. Okay, nice use of a mate connector there to get that position. This is really, really close, guys. I wonder what tier 15 will be like, Omri. Tier 15, we might need to go to a second sheet. I'm not sure. Mika says, I don't know what's going on, but it's cool. Yep, that's good. That's a good mantra for life. Wow. And so it looks like we've got Imants now on the left creating that kind of, there was a little hidden feature down there. Very easy to overlook, but creating that kind of tombstone shape. Victor K says the first big print that I got had like 15 section views. Only way I got through it was having the physical part to look at. Yeah, I've had that before. It's just a space dragon for tier 15, yeah. Oh, Ricardo. Ricardo is an expert in modeling dragons, so. Rich Penn says, imagine that, a hidden Toby feature. Yeah, it could definitely, those can definitely creep up on you. You know, that was tight. I'm impressed that both Imants and Dom saw that feature, because that, when you get to the end of all that other work, it's really, you know, you just kind of want to be done with it. So, wow, what a comeback. Oh, yeah, I spoke too soon. Let's see, we're gonna see a delete face. You know, you guys know we love delete face. Delete face for bonus points. Ricardo Jean says it's in the fun facts on his profile on the TooTallToby website. He's got that dragon shown, so we could share that sometime. And Imants comes in with an answer, 506535. So that's going to be 5066. The correct answer is 5061 plus or minus 5 grams. And Imants has come from behind and won this match, locking up his spot in the final 2 showdown. Imants, wow. Congratulations. Wow. Incredible. 5066. Eric says, I got 5061. I got 5061 as well, but it is plus or minus 5 grams. Incredible, Imants. Guys, what a comeback. Congratulations. Dom, a well-fought battle. Imants, wow. Congratulations. What a battle. That is outstanding. Amazing. My goodness, guys. What more could you ask for? What a matchup. The fastest runner in the world. What a comeback. GG to both of the runners. But huge congratulations to Imants. Was facing technical difficulty. Didn't make any excuses. Just took it and ran with it. And it just goes to show you that sometimes in life, you know, you start out at a disadvantage and you're still able to come back and take it down. So